Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Monday, March 10th. It is 6:21 right now. We got market opening up in about 9 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up the room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. A few more things here. Good. And it looks like we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. So all right, looks like we are good to go here. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Going down to the 8 hour, going down to the 4 hour, going down to the 1 hour, going down to the 30 minute, down to the 15, and back down to the 10 minute here. All right, cool. Back to the 1 minute, and looks like we are good to go. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, March 10th. It is 6:25 right now. We have market opening up in about 5 minutes. I marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity below is at 42,352. Closest level of liquidity above is at 42,396. So we have two levels of liquidity closest to current price right here. We have a lot of liquidity sitting above, quite a bit of liquidity sitting below too. As you guys know, today's Monday, so we're probably going to get a lot of push in both directions. So we'll see what happens here when the market opens up. ATR is currently at 15 right now, so it's not super high, but it's also not super low. It's pretty much where it should be. I do believe there to be quite a bit of movement today, though. So I looked at the calendar for news. There's not really much scheduled for today, but we do have President Trump speaking today. It's tentative, so we don't know when. He's going to be discussing the tariffs that he, pretty much was looking to enforce today, but they did move it back to next month, I believe. But he is going to be talking today, so we'll see what happens here shortly once market opens up. Lower level liquidity here is getting hit, so let that be. Full targets up here. Looks good. So far, so good. Sue's here so far. Morning, Karen. Morning, Christian. Morning, Shivam. Shivam said, interesting. Wait, are you starting earlier, Sean? Um, no. So it is daylight savings time. I don't know if you guys follow daylight savings time I forgot where you're located. Are you in the UK, Shivam? But it is daylight savings time here in the US. So it's actually, so we're actually an hour ahead. So I think you might be an hour, it might be like 5:30 for you guys over there, but it's 6:30 here for us. This is like normal time for us because it's daylight savings ahead. Okay. So yeah, I think the time difference, I'm not sure if you guys follow daylight savings over there, but oh yeah, yeah. So you're good. Yeah. Oh wait, so you guys went backwards. That's different. Yeah, so it seems like your daylight savings time, you guys went backwards, and for us, we went forward. So I guess it's like 2 hours ahead for you, which is kind of weird. But yeah, for us, we're an hour ahead. So right now, technically, it would be 5:30 a.m., but it's 6:30 a.m. For us here. Hey, Kenny, morning. Hey, Babin, morning. All right, guys, looks like we got market opening up shortly. Gotcha. Okay, Mike, thanks. Yeah, so Mike said that so UK stayed the same, but we move forward. Yeah, so we're up an hour. I know it's weird. I'm still getting used to it. I'm adapting to the time change still. It's gonna take some time. I like in the winter, I like in the fall when you fall back, but when you spring forward, it's like, man, it's gonna take like a little while to get your body back into routine. I think that's why everyone here is getting on kind of late because everyone's time difference is slightly off. But all right, guys, the breakout for today is looking like it's going to be a sell. If you guys are looking to take the breakout, I will mark it up for you guys here. So breakout for today is looking like a sell. Let's take a look at the overall trend bias. Overall trend bias is currently bearish right now. You guys can see over here on the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute time frame, prices below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. Same with the 10-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute prices below the pivots, trend meters red, and pivots are angling down. So we have a bearish bias with regard to the overall trend. So looking over here at the breakout, it's going to be a sell for today. Looking over here at the market profile, we do have a rejection on the top end right here. So this could be a pretty good confluence for a drop to the downside. However, looking over here on the 30-minute market profile, there's no rejections. I added the 1 hour market profile here too, so I think this will help. Another rejection off the top end. A rejection off the top end right there. And looks like market's about to open up right about now. So market is now open. We got a bit of a spike right here. I'll leave that as is. Come back and take a look at that a little later. So looking over here at the market profile, we now have a rejection off the bottom end. Or close to it. Like I said, guys, kind of tricky because today's Monday, so I'm gonna wait for the market here to kind of stabilize a little bit before I start looking for some entries. Getting a big spike to the upside right here. It's rejecting off the lower end of the market profile. So here's the 30-minute market profile. Rejection off, or it's close. It's not exactly at the value low, but it is pushing to the upside from here. So again, this is the 30-minute market profile. Looking over here on the 1 hour profile, it did reject off that value low. So I mean, you might be looking for some buys here, but huge opening candle right there. I typically don't like to trade the opening candle on market open because stuff like this tends to happen. So here's a rejection off the bottom end, off the volume profile, but we are currently at the point of control. So it might reject right back down. Let's go to our main chart again. Yeah, this is a huge candle right here. Huge candle on open. This candle pushed up about 130 points and it's still climbing up. Pretty much knocked out all this liquidity right here. So I'll clean this up. First liquidity hit, second liquidity hit, third liquidity hit right there, fourth liquidity hit, fifth liquidity hit, and sixth one right there as well. So I'm going to mark up opening price right here. Obviously, you guys can see how crazy the market's moving at the moment. Not really looking to take anything here. I'm going to wait for market here to stabilize after this opening push. And then once it stabilizes, I'll start looking for some opportunities. So let me go and turn this off, turn this back on. Looks like we have the sellers in control from this point right here. And then the buyers obviously back in control from the opening candle right there. So we will see what happens here next. That opening candle was a V1 variation and also engulfing candle. So big spike right there. You can see the fake out price is coming back down. Fake out off the liquidity target. Let's go here to the market profile. There's no rejections here. There's a rejection off the value high here on the 30-minute. Also a rejection off the value high over here off the 30-minute as well, off the 1 hour. So looking at the market profile, we got some rejections here off the top end, off the 1 hour, off the 30-minute. The volume profile, there's no rejections here right now, but price is coming back below the point of control. We have a clean chart over here, no rejections, but price is faking out off this upper level, the 500 point. And here's the SR chart. So let me go ahead and mark up. These are the 1 hour SR zones. So here are the 1 hour support resistance zones right here. Mark these up right here, 1 minute. Price is currently rejecting off the 1 hour resistance right here. It's coming down super hard. This is the 1 hour resistance level. 1 hour support level. This is the 1 minute support level. All right, so we got price going back and forth. I mean, this is pretty much what I said earlier. So on Monday, this typically happens. You get a lot of this whipsaw movement. Price pretty much whip to the upside, whipsaw back down, and it's back to where it was earlier. So it's right back to opening price down here. This is why typically I say that Mondays and Fridays are the riskier days to trade, because on Monday, people are re-entering the markets. We get volatility back in the market, a lot of liquidity. And then on Friday, we have, liquidity exiting the market because people are exiting for the weekend. So basically, this big whipsaw over here is just a big chunk of people entering the market, right? People entering their buys, people entering their sells from last week. And then price pretty much came back to where it was, back down here. Nothing for us to take here at the moment. You guys can see that the messy move mainly happened on the 1 minute here. You can see how price spiked up, then it came back down. If you look here on the 5 minute and 10 minute, price is pretty much whipped off the upper pivots. So we'll kind of just wait here to see if there's any opportunities for us to look at. But at this very moment, not so much, right? Looking over here at the market profile, I just don't see any wick rejections. I typically like to see wick rejections off structure. We do have price kind of bouncing around this value low, but no confirmations there yet. So we need to have some confirmation before we can start actually looking for opportunities of entry. Yeah, not so much. Clean chart right here. We just got a big spike. So a huge spike back and forth. I mean, price is really just in this really big consolidation area, if you guys really look at it that way. This is kind of how I see right now. Price is in a huge range. So I'm gonna wait for price to kind of tighten up a little bit, and then I'll look for some entries there. If you look over here in the clean chart, again, the huge range is pretty much happening right here between the 500 price point and the 350 down here. So this is a huge range, guys. This is a 200 point range right now. So like I said, you should probably just wait for this here to kind of move out of this area, because this is really where the range is happening, right? I mean, I can pull this back as far as we need to. You guys can see price has actually been in this range since lemon session this morning, so like about 1 a.m. 1 a.m. price broke into the range, kind of faked out, came back into it, faked out below, and then it's back into the same range that it was in pretty much since the London session. And it's really just based off this whole number right here, the 500 and the 350. So I would just give it some time here. Prices again rejecting off the whole number right here, the 500 price point. Looking over here at the market profile, there's not really there's no upward rejection right now. Price is kind of just starting to squeeze in. So if you look at this here, price is starting to squeeze in like this. All right, it's starting to create a triangle or a wedge or whatever you guys want to call it. I mean, there's so many names for it. That's kind of what's happening here. It's starting to wedge in because the range is getting tighter. Again, on the 30-minute, we have an upward rejection right here for market profile. On the 1 hour, same thing. We have an upwards rejection right here off the 30-minute profile or 1 hour profile. We got a long time on this 30-minute candle. So we got a lot of time here to work with. It's got 22 minutes till this candle closes. Once this candle closes, we can kind of figure out where price is going to push from there. So it's 6:37 right now. We got a lot of time until 7 o'clock. Once that candle closes, same, the 1 hour here is going to close in about 22 minutes. So in about 20 minutes or so, we'll have the 1 hour candle close and we'll have the 30-minute candle close over here. I think we'll have a better understanding of where the rejection is going to happen. Because if price sits around this area right here, right, if this becomes a case, we're either going to get a rejection from this value low to the upside, which is probably going to push to the point of control, or we're going to have a rejection to the downside, where it's going to push this point of control, right, the volume point of control. So I think in the next 20 minutes or so, we'll have an idea if price continues to sit right here down the middle. If it sits right here, great, because we'll understand like, okay, where's price going to push up or price going to push down. Same with the 1 hour here, same thing. If price stays right here at this green line, we're going to have an idea of like, okay, price stays above, break and retest, push up higher. Or if price closes below, break and retest and push back down to the point of control. Right now, we have a lot of time. So at this moment, price is kind of just sitting there. We want to use these bigger time frames to identify the rejection points. The lower time frames are okay, but you can see there's no rejection points here. I mean, there's one rejection point here off the value low, but this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hold. So we have one rejection right there off the bottom. We don't really have a rejection here yet off the 30-minute. We don't have one here off, well, we do have one off the 1 hour, but it's not as strong as the others. Volume profile, we have a rejection off the bottom end. So we might be looking for some buys today, actually, or for right now, actually, because we do have some nice rejections off the lower end. So looking at the clean chart, we have a rejection here off the 450. So clean chart rejection right there. Support resistance, we have rejection off the support level or resistance turn support. So we got a couple of bottom rejections here. Bottom rejection, bottom rejection, bottom rejection off the 1 hour. This looks like it's rejecting off it, but it's not there yet. If you look closely, it's delete this really quick. So if you look closely, it's not actually rejecting off the value low yet. It's close to it, but it's not exactly rejecting off it. So we got quite a bit of confluences here. Rejection off the 1 minute market profile. We got the buy signal right there. The MPSV2 just closed, but like Christian just said, I mean, the candle was huge. So I probably would have held off on that one too. So the entry happened here for the MPSV2 that I was just talking about. The candle like literally just closed like a few seconds ago, but it looks like it was a tricky entry because the candle was huge. So if you did a 30-30, I mean, you might have stopped out before you got into it because this candle right here is too big. We talked about this over the past couple of weeks, guys. If the candle's too big prior to entry, you probably want to wait on it because price is probably going to retrace back and then push up. And that's kind of what happened here, right? So price did retrace back to stop out, and then it came right back up to hit TP. So not exactly the entry that I would have personally waited for or looked for. Again, I would just wait. Shivam took it. Did you take it late, Shivam, like after the pullback, or did you hit your stop loss? Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, perfect. So that I would have done that too. So exactly what Shabam said. So like this is what I've been telling people, like, and you guys in general, if there's a huge candle and you really want to take that entry, you can do what Shabam did. Instead of entering right away, what he did is he waited. He waited for the pullback, and then as soon as price pushed up, he put his buy limit up there, and then as soon as it filled it, he rolled it back up to its full TP. So really smart move right there. If you really need to get into a position, that's what I'd recommend. As you guys can see right here, these candles are huge. They're way too big, right? This candle right here is 118 points. This candle right after it, 75 points. This candle right after it, 80 points. This candle right after it, 90 points, right? These candles are too big. If your stop loss is too tight, I mean, right now the ATR is currently 45, so you probably don't want to use a 30-30 unless like the volatility starts to slow down a bit, right? You might want to use something like a 45-45 or maybe even 50-50. Because if you use 45-45 right here, it might have survived. Yeah, you would have survived as MPS V2. The problem is that the volume doesn't stay active. You have like one candle that's really big, and then it starts to slow down here. So these candles here are starting to slow down a little bit. That's why I don't really want to adjust my TP stop loss right now. I want to keep it at 30-30, but I want to wait to make sure I don't get caught in these fake outs, because obviously these fake outs here are they're happening very often. So continue to wait for those there. Here's Shavam's profit. So Shavam locked in pretty good. Locked in about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So he locked in like well over, we'll say close to like 30,000 for that one trade. 1,000 right here, and then this one he locked in 6,000, and this one he locked in 2,000. So great work right there. Shavam locking in those profits. His PA counts right here, nice profit, and his evals as well. Nice, nice. And Shubham said, so the last two accounts he's been doing micro scalps. Yeah, so the ones over here where he locked in those big profits, like I said, guys, those micro scalp entries, they hit very often. I had this live session with Arik last week with the one-on-ones. He was asking about the micro scalps. I can't use them because I'm trading so many accounts, but if you're trading, trading them on one or two accounts, you can make a ton of profits right here. Shubham killed it right there with those micro scalps, locking about 6,000. That's all from today. So nice work right there, Shabam. And I'll put that over here as well in the team profits. Seems like a lot of people are on kind of late today. Seems like a lot of people are the time difference kind of threw people off. I think most of the people who are not in the US that are in our group. It seems like there's a lot less people than usual. Yeah, Shabam said PA will have a payout issue, so sticking to MPS V2s on the funded only, as I think they limit you to 1 to 4 risk reward. Yeah, they do. So I would say like once you get funded on a specific account, Shivam, just stay to one strategy, because that's what happened with me before. I had a payout issue because I was doing micro scalps. They were okay with because I like very rarely went into drawdown. So they were okay with my drawdown. The only thing is that like the profit differential. So like some days I would have like very small profits, and then on the MPS V2s I would have like 1,000 to 2,000 profit. So that was where I ran into issues. But it's okay. If you get issues with the payouts, just keep trading. And then on the next payout request, just stick to one strategy and you'll be fine. You'll get approved. Because that's what happened to me a couple months ago when I started doing the micro scalps. All right, so we might have the sellers back in control right here, guys. Not quite, but possibly. We do have that sell signal that's currently pending. If that does close, we do have some rejections up here. So we have a rejection right here off the value high right there. So this is the 1 minute time frame. We have a rejection off the value high. Looking at the 30 minute, we have another rejection right here off the value high. Looking at the 1 hour, we also have a rejection right here off the value high. Looking over here at the volume profile, we have a rejection right here off the value high. Here's a clean chart. Rejection right here off the whole number, 550. And the SR chart, we have a rejection right here off the 1 hour resistance. So we have some nice rejections off the top end. Possible opportunity here for MPSV2 if price does end up coming back down. So we got price kind of pushing down right here. We're looking for that small retracement and then continuation down lower from there. I'll be looking for that MPSV2 coming up soon. No news coming up right now. He's got Trump speaking today, but no exact time for him to speak. The price kind of sitting here right now. Price retracing up. Possible MPSV2 setting up right here. If this red candle closes below this black line, this is going to be an MPSV2. The problem is the candle is a little too big, like I said earlier. Depending on how this candle closes, I don't want it to close too huge because I'm going to be worried for that retracement to the upside. So I'll be looking to see how this candle here closes. This is setting up for a MPSV2 though. Candle has about 30 seconds left on it. If the candle is too big, I'll probably hold off on it. Maybe enter it late. I'll be watching here. We got about 15 seconds left on this candle. We got 10 seconds. Not looking like it's going to close, a little too blocky, so no entry there. Not yet. Okay, possibly on this next candle here. So we had an engulfing up here, sell signal. If this candle closes below the black line right here, this is going to be entry for MPSV2. Looking over here, we have a rejection off the value high right there. So this would have to close a little lower for it to reject off the value high over here as well on the 30-minute, and same on the 1 hour over here. It's not looking like this here is going to close. So it looks like we might have to wait until 7 o'clock. Right now it's 6:49, so we have about 10 minutes till 7 o'clock. I think once we get to that 7 o'clock time that I was mentioning earlier, we'll have some opportunities over here to confirm the rejections off the 30-minute and the 1 hour over here. Because if price pushes up higher, target price point is going to be the point of control up there. All right, it's not looking like we're going to get that sell. Looks like price here is trying to push back up, which is fine. So now we have a bottom rejection off the volume profile down here. Looks like we're kind of in some consolidation here. So if you look a little closer, looks like the consolidation is starting to happen right here. But we'll see what happens in a few. Yeah, I might have to wait till 7 o'clock. Looks like price is having trouble getting past this upper level liquidity up here. Hey, what's up, Sam? Morning. CJ said, I'm glad I turned green before it was time to enter because I was kind of close. Yeah, I agree with you too, CJ, that the movement here is it's a little blocky, right? These candles are they're coming down and then they're pushing right back up. So same with the buys here too. Like if price does push above here and we get a buy signal, it looks like price may push up a little bit and spike down, then push up and spike down. It's not a really clean. Damn, look at this huge red candle right here, just spike down. So I might sit out a little bit, guys. I mean, looking at these candles here, this candle literally spiked in a few seconds. It went from way up here to down here for about 90 points. So I would really be careful because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Let me update CNBC real quick if there's any updates. I don't follow CNBC news, but I just like to see their updates. There's something over here real quick that was posted. I don't know when this was. So this was released, yeah, about 10 minutes ago or 14 minutes ago. It says Trump rejects pleas from businesses for more clarity on tariffs. They always say that. Yeah, just Trump being Trump. So I don't know if this is what causes spike. Trump's like not really budging on, clarity on. He's not really budging. They just want more clarity. It's not like they're asking for less tariffs or more tariffs. It's just they're asking for more clarity, and Trump's like, they always say that. He doesn't want to give any detail. So I think, it's kind of throwing people off. Yeah, Shabam said high chance we see 42,810 today to fill that huge gap to another move down. Yeah, I can see that too. Definitely. Push up to the value high, right, Shabam? Push up to the point of control, value high, and then come right back down. Like a head and shoulders. That's literally a head and shoulders right there, Shabam. Shoulders, head, shoulder, return back down. It's a huge fake out. Yeah, so I mean, obviously I want to take some entries here, but yes, and see, I drew this consolidation zone. Price is actually respecting it pretty perfectly. I kind of just drew this out of a whim. I didn't really see this here until well, I kind of figured this is probably what's happening, and it's actually what is happening right now. Price is literally just going sideways between basically the liquidity up here and this lower point. So the MPSV2 is still setting up right here, guys. I mean, if this candle closes below, I'm not going to take this though, because after seeing these big spikes in candle, I kind of want to wait for maybe 7 o'clock because I want to wait for this 30-minute candle here to close. But again, if you guys want to take the MPSV2, if it closes below this black line right here, this is going to be an MPSV2. We do have some confluences right here. I mean, some nice fake outs up here. Rejection off the 30-minute value high right here. Rejection off the 1-hour value high. I just don't like the way the candles are moving. So it hasn't closed below it yet. Still having trouble getting past this this lower level of range. There are some confluences here. They're not very great, but I mean, there's still some confluences there. If like you really, really feel you need to squeeze in a position, there still hasn't been opportunity. So the candle still didn't close below that black line. It's still ranging between this consolidation range I drew. So again, if you want to take that MPSV2, this sell signal has not been invalidated yet. So you have to wait for the candle to close below this black line. Hasn't done that yet, but if it does, if and when it does, the opportunity for MPSV2 may come up still. So I'm just sitting on my hands. I'm not taking anything here yet. I think I'm going to wait the next 5 minutes for this 30-minute candle to close. I think this 30-minute candle is going to give, or a 30-minute and a 1-hour candle. Once these two candles are closed, it's going to give us more clarity as to where price is going to go. Because what I'm going to see here is if price closes above, I'm probably going to see a break and retest and push back up to this point of control. And then it's going to build up to that level that Siobhan was mentioning, right? The value high. So that's kind of what I'm looking for right there. Same with the 1-hour. I'll look for price to break above here, retest the value high, push up to the point of control. And then, go up a little higher from here, right? And then same with this over here too. So we have a lot of different opportunities here for entry. It's just you gotta pick and choose your battles, right? I don't think this is a good day to take every single entry. I think this is a good day to kind of pick and choose which ones you want to get into. Here we are right here at the range. The reason why I say that is because price isn't really moving very directional, right? It's pushing up and it's going to this huge whipsaw movement, and it's pushing up some more, going into this range. but it's not really doing this consistent climb to the upside, right? It's kind of doing something like this is the movement that's happening today. Push up, come down, push up, come down, push up, consolidation. And then we don't know if this is going to push up or if it's going to come back down, right? It's very tricky with this type of market structure for today. If we had a directional push, and okay, great. Also, we're not going the direction of the trend, right? If you look over here, the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute are starting to switch to a bullish trend. The lower time frames over here are still bearish. So once that 30-minute and 1 hour candle closes, we might get a push back down. So now we got price pushing up. The sell MPS is no longer valid. We currently have a buy signal here, so this might be setting up for a bullish MPS V2 entry. We'll see if price actually holds above the range right here. We have a bottom rejection here, but again, I'm gonna wait for the next candle to close. We have the next candle closing in about 3 minutes. 2 minutes, actually. Yeah, CJ said I'll pass. I don't like when the candles move like this, not to mention that those are 10 to 20 point wicks. Yeah, they're huge. The wicks are as big as the candles that we typically like to look for. So they're pretty big. 25 points right there, 27 points. It's a little too big right there. All right, so we got price finally breaking close above the range right here. We got the candle closing shortly. Like I said, guys, I'm looking for this to break and retest. So this 30-minute candle is closing in about mid 20 seconds. I'm looking for this to break above, retest the value high, and then push up to the point of control. And then once it gets there, break and retest there and push up to the value high. Right, same with the 1 hour, break and retest. And then again, another one, break and retest the value high. Ideally, I'm looking for this to close above the value high though. Yeah, Brock said, yeah, I would like sells around there. Bullish MPS V2. So the bullish MPS V2 is coming up shortly right here, guys. It's gonna be right at the 7 o'clock candle. So I mean, it'll be pretty tricky. So again, if you guys are looking to take the MPS V2, there's a possible MPS V2 here, but I think it's a little tricky because it is on the 7 o'clock candle. So as soon as this candle closes, it's going to the 30-minute and 1 hour candle are going to close. It looks like it's not going to actually close though. No. So this candle would have to close green. It's retesting the range. This is tricky because I'm looking for it to close above this area, right? It closed like literally on the dot or like right at the line. So we might have a bearish push here, guys. I think this here might bounce off the value. This might push back up because like I said, I was looking for this to close above so that I can see this break and retest, right? But it didn't close above it, it closed below it. So we might get a break and retest this way now. It might come back down to the point of control. Let's go to the 1 hour. So this is a little tricky because the 1 hour actually closed above, but the 30-minute didn't. So we kind of have a toss-up right here. I mean, kind of depending on like what you want to use for your like if you want to follow the 1 hour, ideally I would follow the 1 hour. I think the 1 hour is going to be more valid. You can see here it broke above and it's doing that break and retest to the upside, right? On the 30-minute, it's opposite. It's below. So I would go with the higher time frame, of course. Here's the 1 hour. See how it closed above? There's no MPS V2s here yet. So now we kind of have a bit of a mixed analysis now because I was hoping the 30-minute and 1 hour would line up together. The 1 hour is the 30 minutes rejecting off the top end right here off the value high, which this makes sense because when it's at the value high, this means price is it's overpriced, it's too expensive. People typically want to sell off here and come back down to the point of control. On the 1 hour, it's a little different because it's not rejecting off it, but it is faking out right there. and coming back down. I think ideally here, I'd probably look for some, it's going to be tricky. I think I would look for some sells here, but I do think it is a little tricky. I would just have to look for the other confluences. If I was going to take a sell here, I'd have to make sure there's a lot of confluences for me to follow. You can see price fake out right here off the 1 hour resistance, and it's coming back down. The reason why I'd be more inclined to take sells here is because if you look over here on the overall trend bias, everything's still bearish on the higher time frames, right? 4 hours bearish, price below the pivots. 1 hour is bearish, price below the pivots. Same with the 30-minute. Price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. The lower time frames over here were bullish temporarily, but they're coming right back down to follow the higher time frames. So with that said, ideally, I'd probably want to look for some sells here versus some buys. But it is, it is a tricky market right now. We got no entries here. The NPSs haven't really came up. We have a possible NPS V2 that's setting up right here, but it is within this range. So this is again, like I said, it's a tricky area here to be trading in because we're price basically faked out of the range. It pushed outside the range right here. And then now it's trying to come back down. But, like I said, look out for those confluences. The confluences are going to make all the difference for you. We got a 30-minute rejection off the top end. We have a 1 hour rejection off the bottom end. No rejections here off the volume profile. We have a rejection on both ends over here off the levels. So the whole numbers here, we have rejections on both ends. This is not a good sign. You don't want to see 2 rejections. You want to just see 1. Price here is currently at the 1 hour resistance level. It might be resistance turning into support, but yeah, if you guys are looking at taking NPS V2, if this candle closes red, this is technically an NPS V2. It's not going to be one that I really recommend taking, but if you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys here. I'll follow it. I just don't like the fact that it's within this range here, right? Because what's going to happen here is you might get faked out. We might get that push to the downside, and it might bounce off and come back up. So NPS V2 currently running right now in profit. Like again, this is the area that you want to be careful for because it's currently at that lower range. You can see price here has had trouble getting past it for the past hour, basically, past 30 minutes to an hour. Comes down, bounces, comes down, bounces. Like I'd be too stressed out holding on to this position here, knowing that. And there you go, full TP right there. If anybody caught that, nice work. Like I said, I don't really like trading within ranges like this. You can see price and actually closed past it. It broke past it, just hit its TP. But like I said, it's very, very tricky entry. With these entries here, we talked about this last Friday, guys. When these entries hit, they usually hit right away. If they go into drawdown, it's usually safe to just pull out of it. So that's going to be something that I'll be looking towards. For these NPS V2s. If price ever goes into drawdown, like even just a little bit, even half of this, then I'll just close out for like a small loss. Because what happens here is when it hits TP, it usually doesn't draw down at all. It usually goes straight to TP. So, all right, Shabam. Shabam said he'll be back in about 30 minutes. Definitely. Christian said they're just accumulating orders on both ends. Yeah, I agree. So that's why they're accumulating on both ends right here. On the top end, price pushes up, fakes out, pulls back down, accumulates down here, pushes back up, and consolidates within this middle area. CJ said didn't take it. Brock, did you catch it? Yeah, I wonder if Brock did catch that one. Daniel said, do you think we should just lower our stop loss then? So that's one of the problems. The thing with the stop loss is that I think if we lower it too much, Daniel, when the candle first opens, you might get some slippage where your entry is like down here. And then if it does pull back to like break even just a little bit, you might get stopped out. So for me, I for the most part would probably just leave it as is and just manually watch it. If you feel comfortable with lowering it, you can. But the thing with, like I just said, for me personally, it's harder because I'm trading so many accounts that not all of them are going to get perfect entry. My main account will probably get entry where it needs to be, but a lot of my other accounts, they won't. And then if my stop loss is too tight, it's going to stop them out a little too early. So for me, I'm going to leave it as is, and I'm just going to manually watch it. But if you're trading like, if you're just trading like 20 accounts, like all Apex accounts, or if you're trading like all like one company, then I think you should be fine if you want to do that. For me, it's just the live accounts are what cause a lot of slippage because they don't all execute at the same time. Nice Brock ticket. Mike is asking how is it at MPSV2? So sell signal is right here, Mike, right? Retracement was right here. That green candle, the entry candle, confirmation candle was this red candle right there. Exactly where the entry happened. So sell signal, retracement, confirmation. Entry would have happened on the close of this candle right here. Said 704. Yeah, it looks to me as the confirmation was 704. Yeah, that's right. That is 704. So the candle right here is a confirmation at 703. Entry would have happened at 704, where I marked it up. Because we had sell signal, retracement, and then this is the confirmation. All right, let's see what else we got here. So we got one MPSV2 that came up right there. Again, I'm gonna look for another one. Like I said earlier, it's a tricky market right now, guys. It's a very, very tricky market with regard to confluences, because the confluences here are kind of all over the place. You're fine, Mike. I know it's hard to see, like it's moving so fast that it's kind of hard to see sometimes. I mean, with this entry candle right here, that candle was so small that it was hard to see. Like we were like literally watching it as it closed. That's why we knew it was closing. But this thing like closed at the very, very last second. So when I ever see candles like this, I usually look back at it and I'm like, well, I wouldn't have taken that because this was probably going back and forth at the last second, which it did. And then it ended up closing very, very tight. I like when the candle closes full, right? When it's a full size candle versus something that's super small like that. But it goes to show that the MPS here is still working and it's working fine. It's just, you have to look for those good entries. So now that we have the sellers, I mean, the sellers barely push price down. We have the sellers in control over here. Realistically, they didn't really get in control until up here. So we had the buyers push price up, sellers push price down right here. Now we're looking for the buyers to push price back up for retracement. But, we don't really have too much here to work with. Sam said he's waiting for the 42,400 area. So he's waiting for price to get down to this area down here for that retracement, which I can see happening. We're in a range. We've been in a ranging market pretty much most of today. So I can see that happening right there. Sam, price pushed up, consolidation, push back down for retracement, consolidation, and possibly push back up, right? I'm with you on that, Sam. So we'll kind of wait and see if price does come back to this area at 400, which I do think it will. It's probably going to come down here, consolidate a little bit, probably push back up. All right, looks like the volatility here is actually starting to get really slow. In a lot of instances, I don't like when the volatility gets slow like this, but for me personally, in this type of market that we're currently in, I actually do like it when the volatility gets slow like this when I'm not in a position. When I'm in a position, this stresses me out because I don't know where price is going to go, right? This happens to us a lot. We have an entry that comes up and then it just starts to consolidate. I like when this happens when we're not in a position because I know once this is done consolidating, it's going to break out and push up, right? Or push down. So I like when it happens when we're not in a position because now that we're not in a position, it's probably going to push up, push back into the range here, and then possibly, climb back up from where it's at. Basically, we test liquidity. So what I've been doing last week and what I'm going to keep doing is when we get to this one level of liquidity that hasn't really been broken, I'll just leave it on there. Because when you leave it on there, this looks like an area for retest, right? So price over here initially came up, it grabbed liquidity, faked out, came over here, grabbed liquidity, faked out. And now on this one, it's probably gonna grab it and actually break through. So this is, I'm always adapting with the market. When I see things happen in the market, I tend to use them to our advantage. Usually I would just clean up the liquidity once it gets grabbed, but looking at this here, I'm probably gonna leave it up there just to see, we have a target right there for price to push back up to. Brock's done for the day, overtraded my Apex accounts on Friday. Access denied till Wednesday. Yeah, no, it's all good. Even if you trade sim right now, Brock, it'll help, with analysis and being able to read the market. So looking at this right here, guys, we have a lower rejection here off the 1 minute market profile. We also have a lower rejection right here off the 30-minute market profile. Lower rejection right here off the 1 hour. Nothing right here off the volume profile. Clean chart, we have a rejection right here off the whole number off the 500. And for the SR, we have a rejection right here off the 1 hour resistance turned into support. So the bias here could be good if we do have a buy that sets up here. We have a buy that is setting up, but we have to wait for that retracement red candle to come up. So if we get a red candle here, if it's followed by a green candle, possible opportunity there for a buy for MPSV2. I know price is within the range right here, but looks like this could set up pretty nicely. All right, we'll see here after this candle closes. So after this red candle closes, we'll see if a green candle comes up, and then from there we'll see if this sets up for a trade opportunity for us. Rejecting right there off the probably off the pivot. 20 seconds left. Again, I need this candle here to close red. So we got 10 seconds left on it. I don't want it to close too red though, just enough. All right, so if this candle here closes green, this is going to be an MPSV2. We're looking for this here to close. Confluences. Confluences look fine. This candle just has to push up red. It's got 30 seconds left on it, so it's got a lot of time. So we need this to push back up to green. It's got 20 seconds left on it. Fifteen seconds. And it'll close in about 5 seconds. Again, it has to close green, guys, for entry. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Its price is pushing up right here. TP's at 536. Moves down a little bit.
Target filled.
There you go.
Order filled.
All right. And we are out. Full TP on that trade. Full TP 30 points. Forgot to disconnect one of my client accounts. Sorry, Javier. Gotta take you off. I forgot. We talked over the weekend. 903. I was like wondering why yours would take it, but it's okay. All right, so we're good. Full TP on that trade right there. Nice push to the upside. I got some slippage, but man, it is what it is. Yeah, good entry. So, all right, let me take a screenshot of my profits there. Great move right there. Looks like a lot of you guys got that. Christian said got that. John said money. Barack said what a call. CJ said money. Nice. That was nice. Yeah, that was a smooth push right there. Sam got it. Glenn got it. There was a lot of confluences on that trade, guys, and it was within the range, so it lined up perfect, right? It's exactly what we were waiting for. So played perfect right there. Here I'll take a screenshot of the actual. I like taking screenshots of like of the actual chart because you can see where the entries came in from. So I was trying to I probably shouldn't say this on live, but I was trying to open up another Apex account under my wife's name so I can open like some 50K accounts just to get them passed real quick. We'll see if it works, but I don't know if it'll work, but I'm hoping it works because then I'll have like 40 Apex accounts. I think it's like it's supposed to be like one account per household, but I mean, we'll see. I know a lot of you guys have kind of mentioned it before. I'm actually trying it now. I mean, if it doesn't work, it's fine. I'll just ask for a refund. I'll decide it no. But we'll we'll see if they allow it or not. So all right, there goes full TP right there on the NPSV2. Another nice win. I'm gonna be looking for another entry. I'm not done trading yet, guys. 7:18, so we still got some time. Let me see if there's some upwards rejections here. I don't see anything off the 1 minute market profile. I see something here off the 30 minutes. Not super great, but we'll see. That's one confluence there on the 30 minute. I don't think there's enough confluences here for me to want to take the sell yet. Nothing on the volume profile. We have one rejection right here off the clean chart off the 550. Okay, so we have two confluences here, maybe three. Price has been stuck within the resistance here, so we have three confluences: rejection off the resistance, rejection off the whole number 550, and then also rejection off the 30-minute market profile. So that's all we got right now. If you guys want to take this for a sell, I mean, I'll look for it. I'll look for it and I'll identify the entry, but I'm probably going to sit out on this MPSV2 for a sell because I just don't have enough confluences there. Ideally, I don't want more, but we'll follow through and I'll kind of show you guys. But let me screenshot my profits real quick before we continue on with this here. Thankfully, Javier's account didn't like give errors across all of my accounts because that happens sometimes where I forget to take one account off the copier and then it just kind of screws up all my other accounts. Thankfully, it didn't do that this time. So like I said, today's like one of those days to really nitpick, guys. Like really nitpick what entry you guys want to take because the market volatility here is not it's not very consistent. We have like some really big candles, then we have small candles, and then we have consolidation, and then situations like that. It kind of throws off your trade psychology also with your analysis because a lot of times last week was nice, right? Last week it was like take a buy, take every buy, and you'll get every entry that will just easily come up. And then same with the sells, right? When price was dropping, it was really dropping. This week, we have more of a choppy market. It's not necessarily a bad thing because the strategy still works in a choppy market, but it does make you kind of second guess your entries and your opportunities for entry when stuff kind of gets flat like that. So just something to keep in mind. But anyways, here are my profits. If this candle closes red, not this one, but the next one, guys. If the next candle closes red, it's a possible MPSV2. Like I said, there's not enough confluences here for me to want to take it myself personally. There's actually confluences from the opposite end right here on the 1 minute. And then same here on the 30 minute. I don't really want to take anything that's against my position, right? I don't want to fade my own entry with confluences in the other way. So if you guys want to take this entry, I mean, feel free. If this candle closes red, this is an opportunity for an NPSV2. Again, like I said, it's kind of tricky because there's not very many confluences off the top end off for a rejection. We do have a rejection right here, but we also have a rejection on the bottom end on the 30 minute. And we actually adjusted now, so there's no top end rejection, only bottom. So just want to give you guys a heads up just in case. The candle does not look like it's going to close red anyway, so Probably no entry there. All right, as we continue on, let me go ahead and post up my profits from that last trade. All right, so here are my profits from that last trade. You can see over here, I think I locked in, I'll say more than because I increased my contract size on my Tradeify account. So last Friday I locked in 36,000. I think I locked in closer to 40,000 for today because I didn't trade on 4 of the accounts. You can see down here, I didn't trade on 4 of them, but for today I did trade on 4 of them, and I made about like 800, 900, about close to 1,000 per account. So a little more. So I probably made about like 38,000 to like 40,000 for today. I'll add that up later once we get, to the end of the session. Just wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek to what our profits are looking like for the day. All right, so right now, currently, we have a possible MPS V2 setting up right here. If you guys want to take it again, I'll mark it up for you guys. I don't have enough confluences for a sell here, so I don't really want to take it myself. Again, the candle has to close red. If it doesn't close red, then don't take it. It's not closing red there, so there's no entry. You know what I just realized? If I locked in 40, or no, that's not enough yet. My goal for this month was to make 100K. I'm almost there. I'm at 59. So the 100K mark might get hit from today's win. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Mike said you're gonna have to put your profit target up for the month. I know, Mike, right? So I'm also trading. I just started an account with Take Profit Trader, guys. And once I get funded with them and then I get my payouts, I'll let you guys know if I recommend them or not. But I only have one account with them right now so far. So hopefully that eval gets passed pretty soon. It's this one right here. It says 735. So I mean, it's slowly building up. I forget what the profit target is for that account, but hopefully once that one gets funded, then I can slap on another, I think like 4 or 5 accounts, and then it'll just keep increasing. So at this point, I'm just scaling now, guys. My strategy is perfectly fine, right? I take the same strategy, the MPS V2, pretty much every day. And then all I do is I just slap on more accounts. So slap on more prop accounts, slap on more hedge fund clients. If you guys want me to trade for you, let me know. I can trade for you. And we just get that split at the end of the month. So right now, I'm really just multiplying. I'm multiplying accounts. Or multiplying profits, because every time I add one more account, I just add more profits to my bottom line. And it works. It's a win-win for everybody, right? Because if I win, you win, right? I make profits, you make profits. At the end of the month, we split those profits, and you pretty much make money without having to do anything. So it's a win-win for everybody, even with the prop firms. All right, so we have a possible buy signal right here closing, just closed right there. So no more sell opportunity for MPS, possible buy opportunity for MPS here. Let's take a look at the confluences. We got rejection right here off the point of control. Over here, we have a rejection off the 30-minute time frame, also off the value low and point of control. We have a rejection right here off the bottom for the 1 hour, off the value low and the point of control. Looking over here on the volume profile, we have a rejection right here off the point of control. A lot of bottom rejections here. So, with that said, this could be setting up for a possible nice buy entry. Thing that you want to be careful for here, again, you can kind of see it clear on the clean chart. So here on the clean chart, look at this range. The range is pretty, it's pretty obvious, right? So it's just kind of tricky right here. I mean, obviously, price breaks past this area, it's going to break past the range, but you can see here on the clean chart, it's pretty much been going sideways right here for a while. Rejection off the 1 hour resistance turned into support. So we got a lot of bottom rejections here. Again, the thing that you want to be careful for is the fake out, because looking over here, if you get a rejection off the top end, it might pull back into this range, the same range that I drew here on the clean chart. So we have an MPS V2 setting up right here, buy signal right there, possible retracement candle if this closes red, and then possible continuation back to the upside. The entry with this, I don't feel as comfortable as I did with this one because this one was within the range. This one's going to be outside the range, which is a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing because this could start setting up for a push to the upside, but it's a bad thing because this could also set up for a fake out back down, right? Kind of like what happened over here. So this is like something that you want to look out for. I know it's hard to like not think that way because obviously you want to be conservative with your entry. But yeah, if price does push up here, there's two things that may happen. Break and retest, continuation higher, or push to the upside, fake out, and then pull back into the range. We do have the red candle right here, guys, like I said. So having this red candle right here, if this candle closes green, this is going to be an MPSV2. But it looks like price is, it's having trouble getting past this area right here, of course. So we'll see. We got 30 seconds left on this candle. It's not looking like it's going to close green. It's coming down pretty strong back into the range. Confluences are great though. Lower rejection, lower rejection, lower rejection, sort of lower rejection right there. Rejection off the whole number. It's not closing green though, so there's not going to be any opportunity for entry here yet. And like Daniel said, candles are huge. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Brock said, yeah, confluence is no joke. Jasper's asking, how do you determine the zones for the range? So what I typically look for is I don't, they're kind of like, they're not like set, they're not set prices. Like what I look at right here, Jasper, is I kind of just look for, I look for rejection points. So it's going to be hard for me to explain it to you because I just kind of see it when I'm looking at the chart. But what I look for a lot of times is see how like this down here, because I have the levels indicator on. So if you have the levels indicator on, you can kind of see how price kind of bounces off certain price points, right? So this is the actual range right here down the middle. Like I see this just because I see how price fakes out up here. And then it pulls back, right? Like the main meat of the market is really happening right here down the middle. So it kind of depends on like where you want to put that range. You don't have to put the range exactly where I put it. Like if you want to just put it where the wicks are at, I know some people do that. They just like to put it where the wicks are at, and then they like to just mark that up like that, right? For me personally, I kind of just draw them. I wouldn't say in random areas. Like see this right here. This would be like more of a concrete range that you would draw, right? For me personally, I like to draw just kind of like where I see price bouncing from. So for example, I wouldn't draw it up here because this is where I see the fake outs, right? This is like where price fake out from. Where I see the range is like really like I draw from the body and I bring it down just a little bit. So that's how I drew that range right there, right? Basically at the whole number. I went from this body and then I kind of went down a little bit. Didn't make it exactly the same size of the body, but I just pulled it down and then I drew the range right there. Same with this down here. Like some people might draw the range from down here. And there's no wrong way to do it. But for me, I kind of just just looking at it from an eyeball perspective, I would draw the range from like right here. Because I like to see the fake out areas, right? So I drew the range from right there because I can see like this is where the meat of the market is happening, the meat of the movement. And then right here, these wicks right here, I'm seeing, okay, this is a fake out and this is a fake. I want to see the fake outs. I don't want it to be super clean because I want to see where price may push out of to fake me out. Like if I was to get into a position. Initially, like I would typically just draw them at the whole number. So like you can go from levels, right? You can start from just drawing them at whole number. So for example, right here, the 550. You can draw your range there. And then once you do this, like you start to do this like almost every day, it'll start to like make sense and you'll start to like see different ways of drawing it. So for example, you can do from the 550 down to the 450. It's a 100-point range. Like you'll start off by drawing ranges like this. And then over time, you're like, okay, I can move this up a little closer. I can move this up a little farther. Because the ranges are never going to be perfect. It just kind of depends on what you see on the market. For me, this is what I see. But for other people, they may see the range up here at the very top. They may see the range all the way down here, but I like to see the fake out. So I give it some space here. I'm like, okay, test here pretty often and it tests here pretty often. But I like to see this as, okay, this is a fake out, this is a fake out, this is a fake out, this is a fake out. They're all kind of, it's just you learn as you go. It's kind of like one of those things that you adapt with the market. I mean, you'll probably see that my ranges here look pretty clean, but in reality, they're not that clean. They're kind of just, I just see the price retest those areas, and then I draw them at those points. Like for example here, right? My range over here started from the 556 down to the 540. And this one over here from the 504 down to the 488. But if you look at the clean chart, it's very close, but it's like a little more kind of spread out because it just looks a little different. But yeah, I wouldn't say don't pay too much attention to drawing these zones. Just play around with it, draw your own zones, and then move them around. And then they'll start to clean up as price moves along. Yeah, exactly. Brock said, I like that you are not doing a textbook. I know because a lot of people will tell you stuff. They'll tell you like, oh, draw from the very low and then draw like that candle or whatever. But the thing is, like, the market's never going to be perfect. Like, you're never going to get a perfect low or a perfect high to draw your zone. It kind of comes from discretionary understanding of like how the market here is moving. So, all right, guys, MPSV2 never came up for the buy over here. We have a possible MPSV2 setting up for a sell here. There's no rejections. Let me take a look at the confluences. No confluences here. No confluences here on the upside. No, there's one confluence right here rejecting off the value high, off the 1 hour. So I'm just trying to like load up my confluences right here so I can kind of make sure that the sells here would be good. There's a rejection right here off the volume profile, off the point of control. And then we have a rejection right here off the whole number, the 500 price. So I use these confluences on like different time frames and different strategies. Some people like to trade support and resistance. I like to use this as a confluence. Some people like to use whole numbers. I use this as a confluence. I'm not using these as standalone strategies, but I like to use these because if I have more confluences on different types of strategies and different types of profiles, then they usually line up with my analysis. So we got an MPSV2 setting up right here. Sell signal, green candle, engulfing candle right here, possibly for MPSV2. The only problem here is I think this candle is going to close very, very large. And like I said, I don't like taking these large candles, right? Because a lot of times it'll come down, stop you out, and then come back down. So for me, I might, if this does close here, I'll probably just watch it for a little bit, let it retrace up, and then get in a little later. Confluences here do look decent for a sell. We have a rejection right here off the point of control on the 1 minute market profile. Nothing on the 30. 1 hour has a rejection off the value high. Volume profile, rejection off the point of control. Rejection off the whole number here, the 500. And then rejection off the resistance right here, 1 hour resistance level. So this looks like it could be a good sell entry. I think it's just a little tricky right now because of how these candles are currently moving. I'll follow it right now. I'll look for it to possibly retrace a little bit. Again, this candle is a little big. It's a little too big. If you guys want to take it, I'm marking it up for you guys here. So we got the candle right there. I'm gonna look for it to maybe retrace to the 50%, maybe higher, and then I'll try to look for it to come back down. So I'll put like a sell limit as price retraces up and then comes back down. Yeah, Brock said I prefer it to be forming after the break, not with the break. Yeah, I agree with you too, because it broke the support right here or broke the low. Right. I don't like when that happens too, because that tends to be a fake out area, right? Because what happens is price breaks below, retest, and then comes back down lower. This might just go straight to TP. But like I said, this candle was too big. I'm not going to take those types of risks today on a Monday. Especially because the ATR right now is not even that high. Look at the ATR. It's at 36. So you got 36 ATR, and you have this entry candle that is, it's way above it. It's like 50 points. However, I do want it to hit. So I want this to hit because I want it to line up with my analysis, right? Like I said, if it doesn't draw down very much, then I go full TP. So if you guys took that nice work, full TP on the MPSV2, like I said, I want these entries to hit, even though I'm not in the position, because look how it drew back only a little bit, but not very far. Let me see how far it drew back. 15. So like Daniel, if you wanted to adjust your TP stop loss to 15, I think this would have been fine. because you would have survived it. If you're trading like only a few accounts, guys, then I think it's possible. For me, it's not very possible. You can see from my profits over here. All my profits are kind of all over the place, right? These are all Apex accounts right here. And see how like some of them locked in 1,500, some of them locked in 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, 1,825. See, the problem with these here is that I have slippage across all the accounts because I'm executing on my personal account, which is up here. So this is my personal account. I locked in 1,440. And the problem with this here is that it's not reflecting across all of the accounts. So I can't have a small stop loss because if my stop loss is too tight, the odds are I'll probably get stopped out pretty quickly. So another full TP right here for MPSV2. And we'll see what happens next. If I don't have any more entries for today, guys, I'm not going to force anything. Like I said, I'm not here to force any trades. Today's Monday, one of the riskier days to trade. Let's check CNBC, any updates. Not really much updates here. We have some updates here for the Dow. So it says Dow drops 300 points as market sell-off gains steam on recession fears, which I think this is a real thing, right? We've been talking about recession for like the past, I think, 3 years now. Everybody's been talking about the recession coming. I think the recession is actually going to happen this time because of what Trump's doing with the tariffs and with inflation. So, I mean, we're getting closer and closer to an actual recession, which, it does suck, but it has to happen, right? That's how the market works. Like the recession, you can't be recession proof forever. So, with that said, we'll kind of use that to our advantage and, stock up on some sells. Anyways, looking at the calendar for this week, we have a couple news events. On Tuesday, we have Joel's job opening. We have CPI. This is CPI week. So inflation week this week, guys, we have Joel's job opening, Joel's job opening quits, CPI, core inflation rate. We have PPI, which is on Thursday, I believe. Yeah, so CPI Wednesday, consumer price index, and then on Thursday we have PPI, which is producer price index. Basically, inflation, all inflation is coming out this week. Inflation is going to be super high, so I think a lot of these are going to be negative. Well, we'll see. I mean, depending on like how everything turns out with tariffs and stuff, I mean, inflation rate is still probably going to be pretty high, but we'll see. The forecasted to be positive, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on Wednesday and Thursday. So tomorrow we have Joel's job openings. Then we have the inflation news on Wednesday, Thursday. And then on Friday, we have Michigan consumer sentiment. So it's inflation week, a lot of volatility this week. And we'll kind of see how it plays through. But going back to our charts over here, there's nothing for us to take at the moment. CJ said, I hope it retraces before we get to the session, but I doubt it will. Well, maybe my wish is going to come true. Yeah. We can see that retracement right here and then possible continuation to the downside. So looking at the confluences again here, we have a rejection off the top point of control here off the 1 minute. There's nothing on the 30-minute right now. Top rejection off the 1 hour. No rejections off the whole numbers. I'm going to clean this up on the clean chart because I want to make sure I focus on the whole numbers, not the consolidation range. Price pushing down here from the resistance level. All right, so we got price pushing down from this liquidity level right here, or I guess it was liquidity. Now it's coming back down further. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to start updating my my trader sync. I'll start updating it since we don't have much to look at here right now at the moment. Let's see, Sam said, boom, 42,400. Nice, caught that bounce right there. Yeah, like right at it, huh? So we'll see if this pushes up higher for you right there, Sam. This is the price point Sam was waiting for earlier, 42,400. He had a 15-point stop loss, looks like. So you survive that little push right there, push about like 70 points. Out here. All right, I'm gonna start uploading my trades over here. Apex first, that takes forever. Here we go, as price comes back down. Let's take a look at the confluences. Nothing here on the 30. Not really much here on the 1 minute. The 1 hour still the same confluence rejection off the value high. Volume profile over here is rejections from the bottom end actually. Nothing here off the clean chart. Price still at the 1 hour resistance. There's not too many confluences here right now for a sell, so I'd be a little careful with themselves at the moment. Nice, nice. Yeah, so Sam got out of his position earlier. He just got in real quick, got out, and then ran it back to the downside. I'm gonna step away for 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna grab some water and I will be right back. All right, guys, I am back. So let's see. No MPSV2 came up yet for a buy. Looks like we got the sell here still setting up. 7:47 right now. We got about 13 minutes till 8. Shivam said you take the trade off the support of the range. We took this one earlier.
Connection lost.
Connection loss. Might be done trading today. Let me see. Log. It was for. Okay, one of the client accounts. Weird. Kind of weird how I keep getting those connection loss, but it's okay. But yeah, Siobhan, we took the buy over here for an NPSV2. We didn't necessarily take it off the support, but there was a lot of confluences for the buy. So we had like a bunch of bottom rejections off the market profile, off the 1 minute, 30 minute, and 1 hour. Plus, we had rejections off the volume profile levels and the support. Price was like in this area right here, or the resistance actually. Resistance turned support. And that's why we took it.
Connection lost.
Yeah, there's a lot of connection loss right now. I don't know if anybody else is having connection loss, but yeah, I think I might be done trading today anyways. There's a possible NPSV2 that's setting up right here, guys. If anybody is looking to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take it. As you guys can hear from my screen, I've been getting a bunch of connection loss right now. So here goes an NPSV2. I'm not in this position, but I'm just marking it up for you guys. I didn't check to see if there's any confluences from the bottom end. So again, I'm not in this position. Looks like it's not a good entry anyways. But I don't think there was any bottom rejection. So there's nothing here on the market profile from the bottom end. There's nothing here on the 30 minute, no bottom rejections. There's nothing here on the 1 hour, no bottom rejections. So just looking at this here, there was no confluences. Just straight from the market profile, nothing on the 1 minute, nothing on the 30 minute, nothing on the 1 hour. Looking over here at volume profile, there's like one rejection right here off the value low. And nothing here off the clean chart. So with that said, I don't think I would have taken this here for a buy. There just wasn't very much, I mean, there wasn't any opportunities here for that. And you can see this candle was huge. Huge spike to the downside, basically wipe out to grab liquidity and then push right back up. So I think this here was like more of a trap than a valid entry. All right, I'm gonna close out my Ninja Trader. It looks like these accounts are going into panic mode right now. For some reason, well, not for some reason, it's just Ninja Trader's having issues. All right, let me just close this out real quick. It's all good. I'm happy with my profits for the day. All right, looks good. Chase is asking, let's see, what company do you trade your personal account with? I want to open a personal account that I can add to Replicano. I use Ninja Trader. So I use Ninja Trader for everything. Ninja Trader is the only place that I use like all of my accounts. So all of my personal accounts, all of my prop firm accounts. I only trade with accounts that allow for Ninja Trader so that I can trade them all in Replicano. There's other companies too, but for me personally, that's all I use, Ninja. So I want everything kind of on the same broker. So I have like the same data, same entry, same everything. And everything kind of like runs in line. Let's see, Sam said 496, 472. Fair value gap on the 5 minute. Let's see, where was that at? 472. Yeah, so Sam got in, or he had an entry. Yeah, bounced right off it. Sam got out at 20. Yeah, bounced directly off it. You know, I still have my liquidity gaps over here too. think yours on the 5-minute, right? Oh yeah. So line up perfect right here. Here's the gap that you were talking about, Sam. Price came up, bounced directly off it. I should probably still use these the liquidity indicator that I created, because this also helps with these bounces, or like not trading into the gaps too. Like for example, this buy entry could have been easily avoided because it was in the gap. Like it was actually in the gap already. So I forget that we have this tool here. This tool is kind of useful. I guess I can use this to kind of to like have a second look at possible areas of like to avoid. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I forgot I created this indicator a while back, Sam. We just never really used it. I mean, it's still a pretty good indicator if you want to use this for like areas for balance or areas to break through. So for example, we have a possible MPSV2 setting up right here, but it looks like price again is in a new consolidation range. So let me do this for you guys. I'm going to draw a new range right here. I don't like trading fair value gaps, but I created an indicator because someone asked for it. It also acts as a nice liquidity indicator. That's why I call it liquidity. But it's usually where liquidity is sitting. If it comes to grab liquidity, if it comes to break through it. So we got the consolidation range right here. Wait, Shivam said, wait, can you explain that again? So if you use the liquidity indicator, I have like a bunch right here because they're all in different time frames. I have one that's for 1 minute, one for 5 minute, one for 10 minute, and then one for 1 hour. So the way that this works here, Shivam, is see how price came within this area. So right now it's currently going into this liquidity gap, right? This is going to be a little bit of an issue. So right now we have a possible MPS V2 setting up right here. But see how price is bouncing off it? These like areas here that I have marked up, price tends to bounce off it. So look over here, Shivam. See how these were created a while back, but they don't extend all the way, right? So if I extend this out a little further, look at where price bounces from that area. You can always extend them out further, but I don't extend them out all the way. See how price bounces directly off this area? These zones here, they can act as bounce areas, or they can act as price breaking through. So like when price gets like halfway through the zone, it'll like push through it, but you can use them as two different things. So they're not used as just one thing. They're used as two things. They can be used as bounce areas, or they can be used as breakthrough areas. So like if you go on the 1 minute, so the 5 minutes not as obviously the 5 minute is stronger, right? If you use the 1 minute here, so this is a 1 minute liquidity zones. See how price kind of blasts through these areas? Like this is the 1 minute is better to use as liquidity for price to push through. The 5 minute and higher time frames are better to use as bounce areas. It doesn't always work this way though, because we're currently in a ranging market. So how price is going back and forth, it works well because price will come and it'll bounce off it, right? But if we're moving in a market that's going directional, so say for example, the market's just going higher and higher, these zones here aren't very useful because price will just blast right through it. So this is good for today because today we have a lot of ranges, right? Let me turn this off real quick. See, we have the consolidation range and then it comes down and consolidates further. That's why I created this indicator, because we were in a ranging market for like a long time. This was like before you came back, Shimon, but like we were like in a back and forth. This type of market style or market profile was the same market pretty much every day for like the past 3 months. And what happened was I was like, we need to find areas where we can catch the bounces. And that's why I created this indicator, because I was like, okay, we can catch the bounces whenever they come off these areas. This liquidity is kind of based off gaps, like fair value gaps. Like I said earlier, I don't really like these fair value gaps. I like when they line up with something like say, so now that I'm using this tool here, I'm like, the liquidity indicator actually works good now, because if these fair value gaps, if they line up with my value lows or my value highs, the odds of them bouncing off those price points are very likely. So now that we have this here, I didn't even think to add this to the chart, but this is actually, yeah, this actually works really well. Okay, now we have like a second line of confirmation. So see how price here rejected off the value high, Shivam, and I think you're gonna like this. Because see how it rejects off the value high right here? It also rejects off the liquidity zone, and I have it set to the 30-minute. So this works actually really, really good with the TPO. Dang, this is crazy. I didn't realize I didn't think to use this, but it does work very well. Yeah, same with the 1 hour here. Because of the bounces, when they come to these areas, if they double bounce off them, like off the level and off the liquidity, they usually come off pretty strong. Yeah, so there we go. We have another tool here to kind of use. We don't have to leave it on, but when you're looking for these bounces, we can kind of identify like, okay, that when price finally comes to this point, it's probably gonna really bounce off this area. Nice, nice. Okay. So I'm glad that we kind of put that together. So like now we have some idea of like what to look for. I'm curious now in this volume profile. This is the minute. Turn this off. Yeah, this actually works really well. So I'm looking at this right here, Shimon. This is crazy because like see how this this pretty much is value low is right here. Whenever it comes down to this value low, it bounces directly off it, and we have it lined up with the TPO. Nice. Let's see, Shimon. It is called oh, it's weird. You should have it. Send me your username and I'll check it after this live session. But you should have it. I guess mine just fell off that one. But yeah, just message me. It's gonna be called liquidity. It's called Kodi Kai liquidity zones. But you should have it. So yeah, just send me a message on Discord, Shivam, and I'll double check it for you. But all right, guys, there's nothing that's come up so far. Can see here prices in this consolidation zone. We had the sell signal come up, came down a little lower, didn't actually close below, so there was no MPS V2 there. Another one setting up right here. Possibly if price does break above, like we were saying earlier, I don't think we have any bottom. There's no bottom rejections here, so I don't think there's going to be any confluences for us to take that buy. But if you guys want to take it, I'll look for it. While we're still doing that, let me go over here and continue uploading my trades. We have a couple more accounts here. Two more I can upload on here real quick. All right, let me do my Tradeify. Take that long. No entry here yet. that. Pretty, then I think I have one more account that I need to log into. Pretty like one account shouldn't take too long. Now, let me check my reports. I feel like it's missing trades. Do this again. So it looks like I'm close to my goal for 100K for the month, but I'm not there yet. I'm really close though. Like one more winning day and I'll be good. Looking at this right here, guys, we have a possible MPS V2 setting up if this candle closes red. Again, like I said, there's no confluences for a buy here, so I'm not going to take it. I'm only taking trades that I'm like very, very confident about, and I just don't see any. I just see one here off the whole number, which is a 500 price point. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. I'm almost at my goal. Let's see. I'm just gonna up. So I know some of you guys are asking like, how does the way that this works here is like I'll have my trade of 8, I'll log into my thing, and then I'll just put my login right there, and this is how it uploads my trades from the day. I'm really close to my 100K goal though. I'm like at 90,000, I think. For some reason, I thought I made more profit today, but I didn't make quite what I was expecting. Anyways, I'll let it right here upload real quick. I'll come back to this shortly. So no entry here yet for the MPS V2. We have a buy signal. We have a retracement candle here. If this candle closes green, this is going to be an entry for an MPS V2 for a buy. Like I said earlier, guys, it's not really, there's not enough confluences here for me to want to take this as an entry, but if you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys here. Again, this candle has to close green. I think there might be an issue with the broker synchronization. It's always giving me this error right here. Because I swear I made more profit, but you guys will see shortly. The candle didn't close green. There's no entry there yet. If this candle closes green, this will be an entry for MPS V2. Yeah, I think there's an error with my updates. Because let's see, looking over here. So I'm pretty sure I locked in way more profit than this. I'm at like 30,000. Because the thing is, if I locked in this much on Friday, I'm pretty sure I locked in more on today. But I mean, it is what it is. It might have an issue with the uploading process, but yeah, it says so far I'm currently up 88,970. I'm almost at the 100K mark, but this is how much shows that I made today. I'm pretty sure I made more, but I think there's just an issue with the upload. It's still trying to upload my positions right there. But I think it's okay. That's this is pretty much where I'm at right now, guys. So MPS V2 did not come up yet, guys. It looks like there's gonna be a sell signal that's coming up. We're way past 8 o'clock, so like I'm done trading for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I just don't really see anything else here right now for the moment. If you guys want to keep trading, you can do what Christian is doing. Christian typically goes to a demo account after after the live session time. If you guys haven't talked to Christian, Christian has been running the numbers up pretty nicely. He gave me the numbers from like basically this whole month and last month, and the numbers were pretty good. Like what he found was that if you follow the confluences and you trade like the same way that we've been trading, you'll have a pretty good amount of entries during the live session time. You'll have a lot of entries come up after the live session time, but overall, if you count like the total days, it usually doesn't end up to be very profitable. You're better off just sticking to our live session trading times. So if you guys do want to keep trading, and if you guys want to keep testing out, these entries, here's the MPS V2 guys just came up. If you guys want to keep testing out these entries, you guys can, but like I said, if you want to just practice and not trade your own accounts, you can always trade to switch to a demo account and just keep taking these entries. That's what Christian's been doing, and he's been documenting the entries. So, big thanks to Christian for doing that because he gives us confidence with these entries that we've been taking. Our cutoff time is typically 8 o'clock. So like, obviously I wouldn't have taken this trade here. This is basically downtime for me. If you do want to keep trading, I probably would start trading like closer to 9 o'clock. Because that's going to be more of a higher volatility type day. So let me just copy everyone's profits real quick. So we have profits over here from Barack. Profits here from Christian. If you guys have more profits posted up, feel free to send them in or feel free to post them in the team profits. Trade's still running right here in profit, but like I said, the volatility here is kind of choppy, not very consistent. But yeah, here are the team profits. So we got Jonathan over here. He locked in 327 for the day. Nice work, Jonathan. We got Christian here. He locked in 560 for the day. Nice work, Christian. He's moved over to his demo account to keep trading if he wanted to. We have Shivam here, or sorry, this is Brock. Brock's profits over here. He locked in a total profit of 21,195. Nice work, Brock. And then we have Brock's other account over here. Total profit of 2,540. So what I'll do right here is I'm going to take a screenshot of my profits for the day. There we go. It updated. So I'm at 30,975. I'm at 90,000 total. Let me just take a screenshot of that real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. So like I said right now, I don't think I would mess with this with any entries at the moment, guys. It's after 8 o'clock, and it's not really worth the risk. So let's see. Let's take a screenshot of my profits so far. All right, so it's slightly updated, but like I said earlier, guys, it's not exactly. I think I might be missing a couple trades. I swear I locked in more. We'll have to check to update this a little later. Either way, I'm on track to hit my 100K goal for this month, hopefully. Unless there was just slippage this for that specific unless there was just slippage, which could be the case. And I just got less profit than I usually do. But anyways, here are my profits so far. So here are my profits for the day, guys. I locked in this on my first half accounts and this on my second half of the accounts. And here are my profits for the week and for the month and for the day so far. So I locked in 30,975 for the day. For this week so far, that's the only trading day, of course. Today's Monday. And for the month so far, I'm currently up 90,410. My goal is to make 100K this month. So if I have another win tomorrow, I'll be at that 100K mark. And then I just got to have higher goals. So my goal is to hit 100K this month. If you look over here at my stats, so my stats so far, I made 90K this month so far. Last month, I made 81,255. And then in January, I made 73,155. So each month, I'm getting a little better. I'm getting a little more, the same amount of trades, just getting a little more. I had a couple losses here in January, so obviously that set me back a little bit. So January, 73,000. February 81,000, and then now we're only week 2. I'm at 90,000 right now because we've been on a pretty nice win streak for March. So goal to hit 100K, and then hopefully next month make that 200K, 300K, and then up to the million mark at some point. So I mean, it's been good. It's been good. I think as long as we stick to this one strategy, like I said, the MPSV2, you guys should be perfectly fine. It's just really understanding the strategy and understanding which ones to pick versus taking every single opportunity that comes up. But you guys can see my stats here. I'm not here to hide anything. And I'm not here to show you that I'm the best trader ever. I'm here to show you that if you're consistent you can do pretty good. Like I kind of sucked here in January because we were taking the breakout, but as we progress and I stick to this MPSV2, I start to make more and more profits along the way. So pretty excited for this year. We're pretty early in the year. We're in March, so we have a long time to go. We have like 9 months to go. If I could do 100K every month for the next 9 months, that's gonna be over 1 million. So that's kind of the goal. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session.